you guys later.
It's like some type of fucking wasp or some shit.
Is it black?
What's that? Yeah, bro. Wow.
I didn't give you a time to do it.
It's fun to just like totally Because it's like when I was learning about recording and stuff, it's like now it's like breakdown.
Yeah, man. I'm learning the same thing, bro. Like, I haven't really taken my time with shit lately. Specifically using. But talk about the process, it's like more than just creating. It's like, letting inspiration come to you in places like this. It's like nature's imperfect. That all the quiet windows when it zooms by, everything's just constructed so naturally. So you might get like some high notes here and there, if like the ambulance and come by, light your shit up. But for the most part, it's like everything is pretty out place. So our brains find a way to like tune in or tune out. Like I really noticed how but that's just like, it's life.
Yeah. Yeah, that's just what this moment is.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, man. I don't know, man. Tell me about yourself, bro. I mean, you always been like a fucking like a ninja. You just slide in and out, cool as fuck, smooth. Pop out where you want. Do what the fuck you want.
Yeah.
It's a cool way to live, man. I feel like you've been the same age since you were like 2. like consciousness hit you at like such a young age, and you were just like, shit. I don't know, you get that from a few people, Like you've always been like 35. Like I feel like I'm just approaching the age that I feel like I've always been. Which is old as shit.
But now once you start passing the age and then you're like, oh shit, damn, I'm fucking, am I fucking 35?
Yeah, it's crazy.
And when you have to ask people too, you're like, wait, how old am I?
It's crazy.
Okay, hold on, when were you born? We're gonna do the math, figure out.
Yeah, age is cool, man. I'm just excited to be a better human. That's my goal, man. Whatever that looks like.
That's a commendable goal.
El número es 52, 56, 14, 79.
Shit's weird though. Sometimes anyway. It's been less shaky as of late, I'd say. I feel like so much of my time in my adolescence was filled with a lot of like free and creative moments, but it was also filled with like a lot of angst, like a lot of like existential worry, and like I feel like I feed off of that still a little bit, or interact with it anyway. But I feel like now I'm not so much as like a passenger on the ride of those emotions. Now I feel like I can like truly understand it and identify it and then interact with it. Like I'm able to like confront it instead of be like, fuck, I don't know what this is, this shit sucks, and then it just takes over my whole life.
What do you mean, just like parts of your consciousness inside? The voices that talk to us.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're like, you suck.
It's a cool way to put it. You know what? To be honest, I never had those voices.
That's good. That's good.
I never had the voices like
Negative
that were
ones.
like, well, I definitely had negative ones, but none that were like crazy self-deprecating like that.
Yeah.
It was more like, and see, here's the thing too about like language being so limited. It's like hard for me to like explain it. It was more about, I think it's more about like, it's definitely an insecurity. I think I've had more feelings of being less than and inadequate than I suck. You know? Or like I'm a piece of shit. Or worthless. More just like, damn, can I do it?
Yeah.
You know?
That's a good place to be though. It's not bad because you know you're not like down in the depression zone.
Yeah.
You're like reaching for high things, and you're like maybe you feel like you're not quite reaching those things, and so it makes you feel bad. But at least you're not like, you know, down in the dumps. You know.
Yeah, man. I don't know. Let's say it's been a while since I've actually been like in a pretty deep depressive state. That's some good ass coffee. Holy shit. But it's also like, you know, fuel to like fucking go hard at music. That's why I'm so grateful for it, you know. When I sent you that verse, I was like in the trenches. You know, like I was really in the trenches and like writing every fucking day and like making it my goal to be consistent as possible, just stepping up to the mic, you know. And when you do that, I definitely learned a lot about myself, not only in terms of like consistency and what can come from it, but also like it's just like going to the gym, you know. Like some days you don't want to go, but the days where I don't feel like going and I still end up going are like some of my best workout days, you know.
And afterwards, when you're like, fuck, that's why I work out.
Yeah.
It wasn't to like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's not even for the end goal, it's for like getting juiced. And then the whole rest of your day, you're like, what else can we do?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it's like the workout, you're like, I don't want to work, because you think it takes energy from you, but it doesn't. It gives you energy. And it makes you stronger. You get the double benefit.
Yeah, a good friend of mine, I'll have to introduce you to him, bro. He was actually at the show. But everything was like, there were so many moving pieces that night, I couldn't really like be the arbiter. But man, he's like such a dope intellect too. And he said something one day that just like always stuck with me. He said like everything is medicine. He's like, if you look at everything like it's supposed to heal you, then you're completely like, I don't know, it was something so small for me to look at it like that. I'm like, oh, when I'm sick, I'm like, oh, what is this supposed to, what is this teaching me? You know, to slow down, focus on my breathing, let my body, you know, respond the way it's supposed to, get rid of the virus, you know. What is this depression teaching me, telling me, right? What is happiness telling me? Because I mean, I feel like I'm such a high energy person that when I have gotten depressed in the past, that it's like it feels deeper because it's a much more difficult feeling to be okay with, oftentimes. But yeah, I don't really have much to be sad about these days, honestly, bro.
Cheers to that.
How about you? Cheers. Cheers.
Ding. No, man, I think a lot of it is perspective. And I think like life, if you're waiting for life to just be good or like be happy, like you're gonna get there and you're gonna realize it doesn't fulfill you. You know, you're like, you finally make it to the beach with your cocktail and you've got nothing to do, and it's like cool for like 5 or 8 days, but then all of a sudden you're like, it becomes its own Twilight Zone. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
yeah, the obsession with the destination becomes like the thing. Like you're not even worried about enjoying it. You're just worrying about the idea of whatever you're trying to enjoy. So it kind of like fucks everything up for you. That's I think that's all about managing expectations, right? Like the more efficient and effective you become with managing your expectations, I feel like for me, that's how I've been able to like figure out more of like a quality of life, you know? And I started to ask myself critical questions like, what do you want? Why do you feel this way about this thing? You know? It also does help, man, what we were talking about with having friends, you know? It helps to have like-minded individuals in your life that can be examples for you. And like, I've had so many good examples of people who like fucking take their quality of life and hold on to it, bro, and are really like, they take stances on things and they're firm in their beliefs, whatever their beliefs are. And I feel like that definitely helps me because I'm somebody that is so expansive and empathetic. And oftentimes I feel like I've kind of been a feather in the wind with certain ways of thought. And that's because I'm like, I don't really know about it. I don't really give a fuck about any of this shit. So like, why would I give an opinion? But I think opinions are important because then that's when you start to have like a sense of self, or maybe lack thereof. I don't know. I'm there now, you know.
Well, I suppose an opinion's like a knife, you know, and it can be used for many things, you know. Some people you're like, bro, stop with that opinion, would you? You know, but also too, it's an important tool. We don't want the tools to go away. You know, you can slice some veggies and some steak up and fry that shit. You know, The knife's important, but yeah, what the person does with the knife is far more important, I suppose.
That's a crazy analogy.
You know,
it's a wild analogy. Yeah.
Someone's out here just like. You're like, can you stop with that, please? Nobody wants that.
Like that fucking dude. There's a dude in Chinatown that was just wielding a machete. Dude, he was just swinging that shit. It's crazy. It's wild, some of the shit you see in the city, man. Like, I wasn't lying about that fucking flaming cart. Shit blew
that
my
sounded
mind.
like it was coming from a real story.
Well, like, I live right there, like, so my apartment's on the corner, so it faces the 405, and so I'm people watching all day. There's fucking, there's hella ambulances there's like 2 old houses that are like in between like all this industrial shit, you know, all the Pearl is like all fucking businesses and like restaurants and shit. But there's these 2 houses that are just like right there, and they catch all the action. There's like a tent city right in front of them, and then like I watched the last 2 years, they've like fixed that they created the footbridge, and then around there they made like this observatory kind of like city garden thing where they like planted new trees and shit, and every once and again they'll come and do a sweep, and like, you know, every other week there'll be about 5, 6, 7 tents over there, and then you'll have like a random episode at like 6 in the morning of just like some lady or some dude just fucking screaming.
Yeah.
And then they get kicked out. But it's nuts, bro.
No, it is crazy down there. It's crazy. But you feel me? Like on the drive over here, we were talking about like, you know, my silly Pinku's conspiracy. You know, it's like for the people at home. You know, Ghostbusters 2, the Pinkus, and you know, underneath the city is like making everyone be mean to each other. You know, it's like downtown is the center of it, bro. It's like Dante's and like that corner, you know what I'm saying, where it's like Chinatown, and it's like you feel like you drive down there at night and you literally, it feels demonic. Like it feels like it feels like it's out of a movie, you know? It's like 0% of the people on the street are like cognitive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like every single person out there is like, they're like,
it's desolate, it's arid, it's fucking eerie, creepy. It's like, you ever watch The Wiz?
No, I have never seen it.
Dog. Well, I mean, it's the Wizard of Oz, but the black version.
Yeah.
And but yeah, Diana Ross, bro, shit's ill. But there's Emerald City, and it's like just this like desolate ass town. Well, it's just like basically downtown, you know, like where the old Sears building is. You ever go down there, like on like Broadway, kind of like Second?
Talking about like around Pioneer Courthouse Square, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that whole downtown area, just filled with zombies, bro.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, we were chatting about that, the ooze, like the spiritual energy that's here, and I know it exists because I've seen both ends of it. Like, this is one of those places. I tell you what, when I moved here, I didn't know why I moved here. I grew up in Eastern Oregon. I probably passed through Portland like 1 or 2 times, but like never occurred to me that I was like, you know, I wanted to move here until way later in my journey, around the time where I was starting to figure out what the fuck I wanted to do. And there was just something about this city that like straight up called to me. And you know, I've experienced a lot of the good in humanity here, just with connections and the way that I've been able to come into my own. But I've also seen the other end of it, where it's like, oh shit, it's like, I think it's crazy. Yeah, bro, it's just like the fucking. There's 2 ways you can go about it. You can be like, oh shit, it's dope that drugs are legal and I can try everything at my leisure, or, you know, you can dip your toe into like other psychedelics and like really get into your spiritual bag, and like I've done that, you know, it's been fucking awesome.
But also, you see what it's done.
Yeah, bro.
It's like, are we sure?
Yeah.
No, I'm all about legalization of drugs. I think I'm all about the government getting out of our shit, but it's like as we go down each of these paths, you know, where we're like, we're going to this progressive new future, it's certainly going to be better because it's progress, you know? It's like, are you sure? Are you sure?
Yeah, I don't think we get to ask ourselves that question often enough, and I think for a number of reasons, it is good. Because I think that's a part of the human condition. We need a sense of autonomy. Even though like the government was like, fuck it, you know, we'll do it for you, you know, we need that.
Yeah.
But then like you said, it's I think we're continually forgetting how to take care of ourselves collectively. You know, individualistically, I've been able to do what I can to find my soul, right, and my sense of awareness and sense of self. But then there's the other end of the spectrum, and you see motherfuckers like slumped over and like they got the dope fiend lean, bro. That shit is the wildest shit.
When as much as you want to step over them and be like, motherfucker, get your shit together, you know?
Yeah.
On the other hand, I'm like, bro, I'm like, homie.
Yeah, bro.
You know what I mean? I want to be like,
what?
What do you need? Can we fix this right now, please?
It's a bad look,
you know what I mean?
bro.
Like, and that's what I was saying on the way over, is some of these problems are unfixable. Because it's like, for this person to have burnt every bridge in their life to where they're on the street, and then you come along and you see this person in distress and you want to help because, you know what I mean, you have a heart. And then you're like, it's like everybody in his life already turned their back on him. That's almost a sign that it's sad, but it's almost a sign that you shouldn't help, you know? Like, who are you to think that you could help when his family and friends, everybody in his life turned their back, because he probably screwed everybody over on his way there. Now some people are just crazy, and that's a different thing, you know? But like, sometimes when I see these young dudes, and I'm like, homie, I'm like, I know you got it in you. Like big bro status, you know what I mean? I want to be like, homie, let's go get you a job right now. I want you to call me I'm going to be your sponsor, right? I want you to call me every morning. We're going to make sure you get up, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to come knock on your door if you're not answering, you know? It's like,
yeah, man, I think it's, I think we should lean into whatever comes easiest to us. And I feel like oftentimes when I feel like I've wanted to help somebody and I took my power and, you know, I guess interjected into them because I thought they needed the help, they always kind of backfire.
They're like, fuck you.
Yeah, it's always backfired. So I'm like, and then I felt depleted energetically, you know, and I think that's also kind of a fucked up thing too, just in terms of like the rules of our existence. It's like paying attention to those signs of like when the universe lets you know when someone needs help. Otherwise, you just gotta help yourself, you know?
But there are those times where the universe calls you to like do something right now in this moment.
Yeah.
It's good to have the eyes for that, you know?
Yeah, and it's something I feel like we gotta constantly train, you know? Like, I feel like every day, to be honest, bro, right now, where I'm at, I feel like every day I'm like beginning anew. Like, I feel like I'm experiencing things for the first time often. And I think that's because of like definitely some of the more psychoactive and spiritual things I've been involving myself in.
Yeah.
But it's been great, because when you think about like kids, bro, kids just like they just are. They just exist and they do shit. It feels good, and that's it. If they don't like something, they're gonna let you know. If they love something, they're gonna let you know. But they're just gonna do shit. And I feel like I've definitely strayed away from that. And we get conditioned to stray away from that. And we are directed to like put ourselves in these fucking boxes, so to speak. And these boxes, I think, are good for you to learn structure and learn processes because of how expansive our consciousness is. Like, I think it's important for us to be able to, especially someone like me who, you know, grew up fucking hyperactive and, you know, fucking a distraction to other kids. It was more just like, oh, I'm like, I just think different, you know? I think I'm a universal being, so I'm on some different type of shit. Some different type of calculus, you know? As you know, bro, you play like, see someone like you, who it comes naturally. I don't know what your story is with getting into music, but I know you of a fucking multi-instrumentalist mastermind. So someone that can speak multiple languages like that automatically thinks about life in a different way. And yeah, man. Yeah, tell me more about that, bro. I want to learn more about Luis. You know, 10 Face.
Well, one thing that I want to say that it sparked off what you were just talking about is that I think there's this cycle in life of like starting as a child, growing through discipline and structure, and then coming back to your childhood self, because then you can use the stuff you learn through discipline and structure with your freedom and creativity of childhood to then really create some great art, or you know, or design a building or a highway, or you know, whatever else things you do in your life, you know. But a person who never goes through that actually isn't a complete person. You know, like an adult, like you said, like a child just does what they want, but an adult who just does what they want is like not somebody you want to be around, you know? So it's like, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it's like, you want to, like, through that discipline and freedom, come back around to where now you can, like, in a controlled way, let that child self be creative and explore. You know, but you're not just like hedonistic, like, you know what I mean? Some people take it the wrong way, you know, they go too far the other way, and they're like, I just do whatever I just do what I want, you know. It's like, that ain't the way, bro, that ain't, you know, it's somewhere, you know, it's like, you know what I mean, it's like, it's a cycle. I think you got to come back to it, like, you got to go through all that. So if we take away all the structure, I guess my point is, somebody could approach that and say, oh, well, we should just take away the structure and just go child to child. But it's like, you actually don't want that. You want it to be like childhood, develop into that hard shit, and then rediscover your creativity. Hey! Right? Well, bro, Anderson .Paak, I was playing that shit when it was motherfucking 2014 or something, 2015. And it was like
Venice? Nah, he came out, Venice. Yeah. Yeah, he came, my homie Miguel, man, he was always on, like, the underground neo soul cats, and when he sent me, the first shit I heard was, your heart don't stand a chance.
Yeah.
That shit, bro,
so good, bro.
fucking
Malibu
mind.
is so good.
Blew my fucking
It's
mind.
so good. It's
and
better
the
than all the
dude,
other
like,
shit.
fucking, yeah, that's probably his best album. I think that one and Ventura. Or was it Oxnard? Whatever the intro with Andre 3000 is, that intro's stupid. I think it's Oxnard.
Oxnard is great.
But yeah, that dude is like, and it's, you know, I'm a drummer too, right? So like, trying to fucking sing and play the drums at the same time is crazy.
Oh, yeah. Hold on, look at this poor guy.
Hey, what happened?
This dog in the
Oh, dude, he's slumped.
he's like, what's up?
He's chilling, man. Dead chilling.
He's like, you guys.
He hears us talking about it
Yeah,
too.
he's like, so.
I'm gonna close my eyes now. Shut the fuck up.
Anyway, it's funny for me because when I get into stuff and I'm like, yo, you guys should check this out, and people are too busy with their motherfucking whatever they're already doing, and then like 2 or 3 years later they're like, have you heard of Anderson .Paak?
Yeah.
I think you would like Anderson. It seems like something you would like. You know why it seems like something I would like?
Yeah.
Because I've been DJing this shit for fucking like the last
I put
3
you
years.
on, bitch.
I'm the one who told you.
God damn it. I made you. I made your taste. No, I love that though because, man, it's not often anymore that I get to be like, to discover an artist. I always feel like, because I grew up in the Midwest, so whenever I heard about shit, it was always the first. Like, so it felt good to be like the only one blasting the shit in the headphones, and then, you know, people don't really, like I remember when, you ever listen to Kanye? Like when Yeezus came around, that summer was crazy. I took a bus out to Utah, and I stayed out with my uncle, and this was, I think, junior year of high school, and actually sophomore year, and watching movies with the sound off by Mac Miller and Yeezus came out in the same summer. That shit was crazy. Just sonically, it was like two totally different projects from like some of my favorite artists, but I was on that shit way before. And the West Coast is always like that too. It's got flavor, bro. Hella flavor.
Lots of different influences.
Yeah. Yeah.
By the time it's like, because really American culture, you know, there's East Coast and West Coast, but it really feeds from New York, you know, and the way that the country grew and developed, you know. It's like the West Coast, we're kind of the final frontier out here, you know, but like by the time we developed culture out here, it's like, it's influenced by everything else.
It feels more refined too. Like by the time it comes out here, it's like it feels like it has an identity. Everywhere else, it's kind of like organized chaos and like beautiful
which is cool
noise.
There's more scene. You know, they're like, oh, this scene exploded with these artists doing this crazy shit, and then as it comes across, it like becomes its thing. You know, but that's you know my beef with Portland. But.
Portland's weird too, man. Fuck, me and the homies are, you know, I mean, this is kind of like a common theme in terms of like just networking in this city.
I got beef with Portland.
It's just weird, bro. Like, it's people don't want to really work together and like create a movement.
It bums me out.
There's a lot of noise and a lot of good pockets of like energy and talent, but there isn't like a fucking movement here.
I think what it is that because like I'm the type of person like this album.
Yeah.
I wanted to bring all these cats together who don't even know each other.
Yeah.
But I know you guys will like each other and dig each other. I want to build, you know. Yeah. But it's like there's something about. I feel like everybody wants to be the star, and so that's the demise of the whole group, though. You know,
everybody wants to be David Ruffin.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like we all should be liking and sharing all of each other's posts, almost like a team. You know what I'm saying? Trying to beat the algorithm. You know what I'm saying? Instead of being like, in competition. Our shit's not. None of our shit is big enough to be in competition with each other. We should be helping to push this big boulder together, you know. And then people are like Portland, and they're like, oh, you mean fucking all these cats? Oh yeah, those cats.
Was it? I feel like, from my understanding, it's been like that since before social media. Like, it's kind of always had that.
It's been
air.
clicky.
Yeah.
It's always been clicky. But it didn't used to be like, well, I don't know. But I think what it is people who live in Portland, because how long have you been here?
6 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you've definitely experienced it. But people who live in Portland, it's like, there's hella artists, but they're all like hiding in their, like, under their log and under their rock somewhere, and it's like, you know, they emerged for like a month in the summer, and
they got the Frank Ocean syndrome. I definitely feel like I suffer from that as well. I do. I feel like what I struggle with is, or at least, especially with the last project, it was like the full release, right? Seeing the full life cycle of like marketing, you know, putting money toward the project to make it sound expansive, and then also doing shows can be very exhausting. And I still find myself needing to retreat at times, and not always wanting to show up. But when I do want to show up, though, you know, because I think that's how you build a movement. But not everyone thinks like that, and it's mostly everyone that doesn't think like that here, you know. Which is also super dope for like that you showed up. I was so fucking surprised that you showed up to the show.
Yeah, bro, for sure.
I was like, wait, hold up. But yeah, man, I think it all starts with what you had done, which is, you know, pull something together as a collective and create a work of art that showcases a lot of the different talents that are here, and that's a hefty task, man. Like that's not a feat to like really fucking overlook at all, bro. At all. That shit's
hard.
crazy.
It was a hell of a challenge. Getting everybody to sound like one album too.
Yeah.
At the end, to tie them all into like a cohesive piece.
Yeah.
It was a big challenge. It was a way big challenge.
I was surprised at how well you made my vocals sound on that shit. Because there was so much room noise on my shit, bro.
I felt really good about that too, because everybody told me that, and I've been working on my vocal sound for a while, you know.
Yeah.
And like I was saying, so like tip for the motherfuckers back at home: don't use reverb, use delay. Right? Don't use reverb, use delay. You know what I mean? Because reverb washes your shit out. You use reverb if it's poking. If you got an instrument that's like, it's kind of poking out, but you need to like kind of like butter it and like smooth it, like wash it with reverb. But like people think, oh man, I got this dry vocal, I need reverb. So you don't need reverb. You want delay, because delay will repeat the sound, and so it sounds like it's like bouncing off the walls, but it doesn't like mud out the sound. You know? Use delay.
That was such a fucking gem, bro. Like that was a game changer. Because I mean, even going to audio engineering school, they'll tell you to like create a new chain, and then make like a small, like carve out the space, but like really turn down the reverb so that the vocals seem more expansive. Yeah. And I feel like, you know, with big box office projects, you do hear reverb, but it's used in such a scientific and methodical way that like I listen to fucking Travis Scott and shit, right? So that's all like astronomical sound, right?
Well, it feels like reverb, but it's not a reverb plugin.
Crazy.
It's probably a delay plugin or something else, you know?
Yeah, because it sounds dry.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
His vocal sounds crisp, it's not washed out at all.
Yeah.
You know? But at the same time, you feel that room sound, and the reason why is because you're hearing the echo of the delay, you know?
Yeah, man.
I mean, that's why when I hear people's shit and it's like kind of amateurish, you know, as like I was over at my homie's house earlier today, and he was showing me some of his stuff, and I'm like, bro, your talent as an artist is so high. But like work on your production a little bit and you're gonna be fucking unstoppable, you know. But that's what I was telling him earlier today. Is I'm like, bro, your shit's all washed out with reverb, you know. And I know it's because you're at home and you record your shit in your bedroom and it sounds like your voice on like a fucking shitty microphone, you know. It's like, so you're like, I need to give it room. So don't do it with reverb though. Reverb is a different tool than it seems like it should be. Mm-hmm. You know.
Would you use reverb more for? Oh, you said what you would use it for. More like instruments that you want to soften up. Yeah.
If you have something that's like, you just want to like blend it in, wash it out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like watercolors. You know?
Ooh,
it's like wash that shit. You know. Mm-hmm. But that's why people put reverb on their vocal, and then they're like, it still kind of sounds a little amateurish because the reason why it sounds amateurish is because everybody who steps into a DAW for the first time puts reverb on everything, and so it's got this sound where I'm like, oh yeah, you're like coming out of like Reason for the first time.
Yeah,
that's how my first Reason album sounded.
Yeah,
put reverb on fucking everything. It sounds great in your headphones actually too, but then you put it on, it's muddy.
Yeah, I think my problem early on was adding way too many plugins to my shit. So by the time I bounce it out, it's like fucking hella distorted. Cause like I'm a producer first, and like I didn't start getting into frequencies and really leveling my shit out until maybe the beginning of COVID. Like before, I was just like, I wasn't even paying attention to decibels at all. Yeah, bro. Like not even worrying about levels peaking and everything. Once I paid attention to that, it like completely changed with the way my production sounds, and it like was leveled up, bro. I mean, bro, I gotta get you around the homies, man, because you're such a dope individual, and like they're dope too, and like just the way that you approach music and just life in general. I think it would be super cool to have you around. What are you doing Saturday?
Man, Saturday's fucked. This next couple weeks is really messed.
We gonna do something, man. I'm gonna when it's not hot out, because my apartment's hot as fuck, dude, during the summer. But I'm gonna I'll have you over, man. Smoke some hookah. I'll fry some chicken.
Fuck yeah.
I've been perfecting my fucking fried chicken recipe, bro. It's crazy. Stupid. But yeah, man, I'll hit you up, man. We cool it.
Yeah.
Cool it. Listen to some records. I've been stacking up records, bro. My record collection's crazy right now.
What you on right now?
Shit, I just got I got Russ's project.
Okay.
His new project just came in. And it was cool, man. I think I waited. I mean, I think he released it last Friday, but it got in the mail like yesterday. So I threw that bitch on, and it was a beautiful project. But I actually went over to this lady's place in Northeast, up near Killingsworth. Actually, Albina. She was having this big ass garage sale and had crates on crates of records, bro. She had Temptations records, OJ's, Gladys Knight, bro. I think she probably still has a bunch of that shit over there, but ended up getting like 5 records. And I got some like symphony, some dope orchestral shit, like. So hella cool inspiration there, and then I got some new records. Like, it's such a flex to be able to get like a future record, you know. Like I just ordered. I got Utopia on record that just came in. What else I get? I got Kendrick's last record, which is super fire. Pretty much every show that I've gone to. I got Hiatus Coyote's new record.
They're out of control.
You see them at the Snitzer?
No, I didn't. But
dog, that shit was crazy.
I was trying to go to that show.
That shit was ill, dude.
I see. I'm fucked up now because I got into so many shows for free.
Yeah.
If I can't get into a show for free now, I just don't go. I'm fucked up.
Why? What happened? What do you mean?
I mean, you know, being at KMHD, like.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah.
So it's Hiatus Coyote came through, and it's with PDX Jazz Fest, so I'm like, I send out my request, you know, I'm like, get me into the show, and it didn't work out. It's fine, but then I'm like, I should have just gone to the show, but instead I'm like,
gotta pout a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, I just don't go.
That show was ill, man. I've seen about 15 shows. I just saw Bad Not Good last week.
Out of control.
Crazy. bro, I've been listening to them since I was like 13. So to see them live, to see them like play, you know, like the first project I heard was BBNG2.
And that fucking, I got it on vinyl. Yeah, have you seen it?
Which one?
The 2. The album cover is like, you can't figure out which way is the front. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's like, I'm like, you bastards.
Yeah, dude.
Like the front is like the back, and you gotta like flip it up. But it like
The actual record itself?
No, the art.
The art, okay,
You know,
word, yeah.
Like the front is the back, but then you flip it over and it's upside down or something. You know, I'm like,
They're ill like that too. Like all their visuals, like their marketing is crazy. They're just like, they just figured it out. Whatever it was, and even like doing the shit with the whole album with Ghostface. Like it's fucking legendary.
But like these 4 white kids, you know?
Yeah.
But so bad.
They're nasty,
so bad.
bro.
But it's like that thing, that the soul band that played on everybody's records. It's like these like 4 white dudes. You know what I'm talking about?
It's fucking. Did they play with Lady Ray? Soul record with the 4 white kids.
No. There's this band that played on all the soul records. I don't really know the story well enough to tell it properly, but it's like there's this group, and they're like, it's like these. There's this story that like it's like the kind of musicians tell, you know, where it's like, oh yeah, I went and saw this band and they sucked, but it's because like the band on the album was actually these guys, and it was like all these soul albums, but everyone thought it was like all these like this, you know, the Temptations or whatever.
Yeah.
Temptations weren't a band; they were just singers. But you know what I'm saying? You're like, oh no, that wasn't them on the album, you know.
It was these fucking. It was Jared, Kevin, Jason,
and they're like these
Jackson,
studio musicians, right? You know? But their shit was just tight, and they played on like all the albums. They were like the actual guitarist, drummer, and bass player or whatever. It was like,
hey, you know, Ian Yuck God?
Yeah.
Bro, he's so ill, bro. He's easily. Just seeing him though, like seeing him play and like get into his zone is crazy.
Shout out Ian Yuck God, baddest motherfucker in Portland. No, that guy.
He's my favorite bassist of all time.
Dude, me too, bro. No, that guy breaks my soul. No, it's Yuck God. Now, I've been following Charlie Brown for years.
Charlie Brown's ill. Charlie Brown's
and Greater Trumps and all that.
Yep.
But you know, Yuck God.
Yep.
Charlie Brown.
Yep.
And motherfucking Rob Arouser. Bro. I'll link you on fucking.
Yeah, please, bro.
So I was following this guy on Instagram, and the shit he was doing was like, you follow Casual Jazzer. I'll link you to that shit too on Instagram. There's this cat out of New York, I think, Casual Jazzer, and he posts like all these like heady musicians, you know. And so through this profile, I was watching Rob Arousal for a while, and then all of a sudden he's playing with like Machado and Yuck God.
Yeah.
At
Machado's ill too.
At some like restaurant in like South Portland, right? And so I'm like, I'm there because I love this cat. And then he like moved to Portland for a little while, and anyway, I guess like that's how I met Yuck. But he, I guess, is from Portland, went to PSU maybe, and was like tied in with all these cats. But I know it's just funny. I like just discovered him like a couple years ago, but it's like he's been in town for a long time.
See, what's crazy about those dudes is, and how I met you, bro. I met you at the fucking some random ass bar,
Omar,
just in the cut. Yeah,
and I just went to go see Omar DJ.
Same, yeah. I just pulled up to see him DJ that day. What was that place called? Kitty Cat or Hellcat or something? Helen's. It's some name. It's some girl's name, but that was crazy. You were just chilling in the cut and had your CDs with you. I think you had dreads back then too.
No, I couldn't have. Maybe I did. Maybe I had little short ones.
Yeah,
I just put my little short ones.
Yeah, you had short ones.
So that was like my 4th go at dreadlocks. You know, like I've done it like put them in, grow them down to here, slice it off. Yeah. And I've done it like 3 or 4 times. Yeah. But so this most recent time, I fucking put them in, and I think it was the way that the girl parted my hair too. Yeah. Because what I'll do is I'll just like go find somebody who will like part me into dreads, or not into dreads, but part me into like braids pretty much, and then I'll do the dreads myself.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly how I did it.
But so the way that she parted me back here, like I'm kind of thinning out in the back a little bit. Just getting older, and the way that she just parted me too,
and splitting your shit up.
I had a fucking bald spot, bro. And so I'm working on this music video, and I'm going through the shots afterwards, and I'm looking at myself. This one where I'm like walking away from the camera, and you see the back, you know, and I'm like, hey, yo, Jesus. And so I'm like, babe, do I look like this from the back? Am I walking around with the fucking?
She's like,
yeah, and she was like, it's fine, you know? And I'm like, no, it's not fine. What the fuck? I was like mad at all my friends. I'm like, nobody told me. I'm walking around the fucking bald spot,
fuck, bro. Nobody gives a fuck, man. I saw the amount of old dudes. I just came back from Sonoma County, man. The amount of old dudes that had caps on with just the fucking George Costanza joint, bro. The dude had straight up flow in the back, bro. That shit's crazy. Nah, you gotta bick it, bro.
Yeah, no, I'm almost there. I mean, what I've been doing is I shaved it down, and I got. It's funny too. Instagram knows, bro. Instagram knows everything about you, bro.
Yeah.
It's like it probably can like analyze my face and tell that I'm like starting to recede a little bit
because they start to do fucking Rogaine and shit.
All this shit, right?
For hymns.
Exactly. And so I'm past. It's funny because I passed all that shit, and it knows I don't want that because it's like finasteride and all these chemicals and shit, right?
Yeah.
And so after a while, it starts giving me natural remedies, right?
Yeah.
Because it knows I need to work on my shit.
Yeah, you know, hemp-derived hair follicle shit.
So I got this line of fucking oils and shit.
Yeah.
Bake my shit. I've been putting the oils on every day.
Yeah.
And so I feel like it's been kind of helping.
Yeah.
You know, we'll see.
Skin look good, bro. You look healthy.
Thanks.
You look healthy. That's it, man. Like, I think through all the shit, it's like, how do we optimize our lives and live as long as we can and as fruitful as we can? Like, I'm like, that's really what I'm on, man. It's like, how can I do that and reflect that in what I do? My life, you know?
Well, I'll tell you, man, I'm really switching gears. Or the last several years, I've been switching gears because I didn't think I was gonna fucking make it this far, you know. And so now to be looking at the latter half of my life, being like, oh shit, I guess like it's not just like ride or die, live fast, you know. It's like shit. I need to think about retirement, you know. I need to buy a house, you know. I need to fucking do these things, you know. It's like if I am gonna make it through the last half of my life. So it's been kind of cool to come around like old man style, and I'm like, all right, I got my investments in my
yeah, you gotta drink that lemon water with the ginger in it too. Get your gut right.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, man. It's a balance, man, and I think we find it when we're supposed to. You know, I'm on that same wave, man. I'm fucking.
How old are you?
28.
What?
Yeah, bro.
You're fine.
I mean, 28 in December.
Well, I'm 36.
You're young as fuck, bro.
In like a week, so.
It's your birthday in a week?
Not a week. It's like 3 weeks.
Let's go. What you doing?
Probably hiding and pretending I'm not 36.
Nah, man, you wear it well, bro. I don't even know what that means, but it's like, I think as long as you're like youthful in your approach to things and like constantly figuring out ways that you're learning. I mean, you're rebranding yourself, bro. Like, you're 10-face now.
Yo, I'm stoked.
Like,
everything I'm doing, I'm stoked. I got no problems. I can't believe I'm here. And you know, if I would have made it any sooner, I would have been maybe like a little fucking piece of shit. So you know what I mean? It's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, my first band, I was like coming out of high school. I was like, man, by the time I turn 21, we're gonna be killing it. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
But it's like, you know, I'm happy to be here. I'm happy everything is worked out the way it's worked out, and I'm way more wise and mature. And you know, it's like if I would have got pulled into some record contract early on, and then they'd own my shit. You know, it's like I'm full boss of my own shit. Like, you can't put a price on it. You know.
I respect the fuck out of your hustle too, cause like what I learned from you is you'll throw your shit on Bandcamp and have people buy your shit before you put it on DSPs.
Yep.
And that, like, for me, like, just putting out projects, there's so much that goes into not only creating the project, but also, like, presenting it. And then also trying to get your ROI back from it, right? If that's the goal. And, you know, for the longest time, for me, you know, I still hate the social media shit. I'll go drive for a minute. Like, if you gonna hit me on Instagram, it's probably gonna be a week or two. It's gonna be a week or two before I get to you. Or you gonna hit me on, hit my line, bro, and I'll hit you right away. Like,
But anyway.
but I just get like, that's another source of definitely like instant depression for me. It's like Instagram. It's like, because you see what it is. Like, I'm as much as I try to be streamlined with my intentions, I get sucked into fucking scrolling, and my algorithm is dialed in, dude.
Yeah, it knows.
My algorithm is crazy.
You, bro.
My algorithm is crazy.
I don't even scroll. I go in there and I post and I get the fuck out.
That's hard. I know.
What I do?
I have to straight up delete the shit off my phone, bro.
I set my shit up. All right, here's the secret. Here's another secret. I set my shit. Don't take it personally. I love you. I set my shit up, cause the stories will autoplay.
Yeah.
And so I'll plug my shit into the wall, and I'll fucking start the story shit, and I'll leave it, and I'll just let it run through all the stories, so that it like thinks I'm engaging, But it's like, I'm not watching that shit.
Yeah, man. I think at this name of the game, right now, especially with the last project, man, I went all out. I recorded that shit at Page Street, every song, and I worked hand in hand with Frankie, who was fucking awesome.
Dude, you killed it. It sounded great.
It sounded great, but I learned so much from it, and I wanted to get straight back into another project, but I was like, I felt my limitations at that point. And so the last time I felt like that, I really got like, I was in a dark place.
Yeah.
Like a super dark place, because it's like you have this baby, and then,
dude, I call it postpartum depression.
Holy fuck, bro.
I call it postpartum. So after I put out an album, I need like a month of
bro.
like fucking off.
Yeah,
I like go drink and go fucking like.
That's
hang
what
out
I
with my
did
friends,
too, bro.
and you can't do anything after that. It's like, it's literally, I call it postpartum depression. Because it's like, that's it. And I do too. As soon as I'll get to the end of a project, and I'm so happy to have it done because I'm excited about this next shit I'm already on,
Yeah.
And then
bro.
I'll be like, I'll make all these promises to people. We're gonna get on that shit next week.
Yeah,
but it
bro.
takes me like 2 months to become emotionally ready.
Yes.
To go back to the drawing board.
Yes. And I feel like I'm right back in that cycle too. Like, there's another dude. I swear to God, this dude is like the battery in my back. My homie Jay. Like, I can't wait to introduce you to him. But he's just like a crazy mind too. Motherfucker's he's like a savant, dude. Like, just the way he designs, and like the way he sees, just pays attention to details in life, like in real life. And he approaches music that same way too. This motherfucker will put out he'll be working on a random project, just put the shit out. I'll be like, how do you have the time to do that? Emotionally, physically, spiritually. Because I'm the same way. I'm like, I really put my fucking foot in that last shit. And I think what I learned from it is I learned a lot of game, not only sonically, but like structurally, how to really put a cohesive project together. And I feel like this next go around is gonna be dope, because now I have a new perception. It's like my fucking shit is fine tuned now, right? It's like the dial is up a little more, and it's not like I'm the kid that used to want to sit right next to the fucking subwoofer, because I feel that shit, bro. I'm hugging that shit. And so I'm like, my music, I want it to feel like that. I want it to hit. I want it to hit hard. I want everything to feel milky.
Yeah.
And as someone who pays attention to the production that way, it was a much different process for me when it came to recording my vocals. And so that's why I went to the studio, because I could do it. I put out a full project where I like mixed and mastered everything on Logic, and it sounded good enough, but I still wasn't there.
Yeah.
And so now I'm like, oh shit, like less really is more. Like the plugins that the dude was using, like he was using fucking, he was using some native shit like on Logic, but he wasn't doing anything crazy. Like he was using Ozone to master everything, right? And then he would put like, I think the main thing is compression. Like I finally learned how to use compression, and that was like the big thing for me, I think, the distance. And so the last couple of months I've been making hella beats, been listening to a lot of music, And for me, the process is like, dude, make as many beats as possible, send them to whoever, and then that's how I'm able to like carve out my sound. And so now I'm like, I really want to do something smooth, expansive, but relatable, you know. And that takes time, you know, because like I'm inspired by artists that have a story. And the story comes with experience, and the experience means you have to go live life. So as much as I want to put out more music, I gotta sit back and smoke cigars with the homie and talk shit, and then I could go back and, you know, do the thing, man. So I think that's it. I know we got more in store. Quite honestly, it'd be super dope if you could EP or, you know, help mix and master my shit, bro. Like that would be ill. Because the way that you like their instrumentation is crazy. It's fucking elite, bro.
People really love I got a lot of good comments on City Lights, bro.
It's elite.
Everybody's like,
the whole project is elite, bro.
But that's why I'm so fucking butthurt about it, because I was like, man, I put so much into this, and then I didn't really get the, like, KMHD's giving me mad love, which has been great, because that's like, it's like the peak is to like get it on the radio, and those guys are such heads. For them to like it, I'm like, okay, I succeeded. But like the fact that wasn't enough to like pop the project off like in the city, you know, I was just like, man, I'm like, fuck you guys, you know what I mean? Like, we put so much into this, and it's like people are fucking still kind of throwing shade a little bit. I'm just like,
for real?
I mean, in a silent way, you know, nobody's like talking shit, but I'm just like, it's like people, everyone wants to produce their own shit, kind of, you know, and so like I came out and like threw this thing down and like smashed, but it's like, you think people would want to support that, to support themselves, but instead I almost feel like they were like jealous or something. They wanted to, like,
I feel like there's definitely a piece of that,
you know.
There has to be, because not everyone can do what you do.
You gotta put that shit aside and for the team, you know.
I mean, you're preaching to the choir, man. Like the biggest thing for me in continuing my artistic journey, especially here in Portland, was to find a community, man. And like I said, I can't wait for you to fuck. I mean, it's like so crazy. Our orbits are so close together. Like we know similar people, but then like not everybody is like gelled or meshed yet. So when you get around the homies, it's gonna be like, bro, like have you met Jimmy? I think he knows of you. He definitely knows of you because he knows Bryson. And I was talking to him about you. He's like, yeah, I know Luis. He fucking KMHD. He's another one of those like conservatory dudes. Like he's just nasty on the keys. He played the bass. Motherfucker can sing. I should show you some of his shit. He'd probably be mad as fuck if I showed you. But he's like, it's just like people like him, man, and people like you who like are really, you got soul and you got heart and your intentions are pure. And I feel like that's just the perils of being a artist, bro. But we gotta like hold each other up. Yeah, for real.
I mean, part of me wanted to be like almost after doing the album and then kind of seeing who showed up and who didn't. Because even when I was making the album, I threw the tracks out to like twice as many rappers as responded. You know? And so I was like, all right, I'm gonna throw these tracks out, and whoever responds is gonna get on the album. You know, because that's the people who I want around. You know, if Luis sends you a motherfucking track, you better fucking do something with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm talking about myself in third person, but I'm like, anybody who didn't see that as valuable, I don't want you on the album anyway.
As soon as I heard that piano, I was like, hey, let's.
I can't believe you killed it, because I think you were the second to last cut. And so I had sent the pack out to all these people, and I only had like a track or two left, I think, when I sent it to you. And it's like you and Spinach are the last two. And I was like, what you got on this, you know? Dude, those Oscar Peterson, bro, those piano lines. And at the end, too, the fucking... you know?
Crazy.
I'm like,
and all the extra, like, the extra character you threw on there, too, with the skateboard flip and, the fucking cashier. Like, that shit was ill.
I just want to make it sound like a fucking, like, a little theatrical. You know? You're like gliding down Gleason Ave, about to play some pool, and like a little kickflip in there.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that shit is like
Once in a blue moon, hear that billiard boy clank. You know?
Yeah. So ill.
Because people don't even pick up on that, but it helps illustrate your point.
Yeah.
Big billiard boy, I stay in the pocket. But it's like people all of a sudden they see billiard balls in their head. You know? And it's like it just illustrates the whole thing.
It's very visceral, man. It's almost like you're like fucking Quentin Tarantino or Martin Scorsese.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's the magic of like creating projects like that. Yeah, man. I'm definitely wanting to make this. Definitely not put too much pressure on myself like I did last time. I recorded the whole project in a month. Made all the beats, recorded the shit in a month, and then like started to really mix it so that it was cohesive. But this time I'm like, I need live sax, bro. I need some sax.
Hit me up, bro. I got you.
Oh man, I gotta have before I go out. I gotta have Yuck play bass on the project. I gotta have you play sax on the project. I think Yuck is with it. I mean, we locked in for the show, and he's like, yeah, man, hit me up. So
why I like him is because he shreds, but he doesn't like when a lot of fools shred. You're like, shut up, kind of, because you're like, but he shreds in the pocket.
Yes.
He'd be like, boom, 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 but he'd be like,
yeah, dude. Yeah. He has the nastiest bass face too,
bro.
dude.
Like,
he's so ill. He's so ill. The amount of times I gone to the 1905 to see them cats, man, and that's a treat too. Like, just being able to. Portland's so special, bro, because you can go just about anywhere and see anybody. And if you're coming here, I'm going to see you, bro.
Yeah.
I'm going to see Jungle at Edgefield.
Really?
Yeah, bro.
Cool.
I'm going to see Jungle at Edgefield. That's gonna be ill.
I like the shit because it's hella dances. You know?
Yeah. I saw Duran Jones and the Indications there last year. They're more like a old Motown funk feel. I saw Masego this year. He was ill. That was a crazy show. Like,
I love his party vibe, but I don't really fuck with him. But
man, the live show was stupid.
It was crazy. I was
the
like, all the girls are all like,
yes, bro.
You know?
This was just crazy. He's just a little sex symbol up there.
Yeah.
Mac Ayers show was cool. I was a little, I wouldn't say underwhelmed, but his music is much more like melancholy, mellow, and sad boy type shit. Sad boy, love boy. But that was dope. I saw this other dude, this cat, my girlfriend, man. She's like really, really into like underground neo soul shit. So I've really like come up on some really dope artists through her. And this guy named Child was at Doug Fur, and that's a cool ass venue too.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
this venue's cool as fuck.
Yeah. It's classy,
yeah,
but you're like in the underground still.
Yeah, it's ill. Honestly, a goal, bro, would be to perform at as many of these historic local spots as possible. Like, I don't know how to fucking make that shit work, but like, I would love to perform at Aladdin Theater. Like, that place is sick, bro.
The trick is you just got to put together an act. You know,
Yeah.
It's like, here's what we're selling. This is the movie. You know, like here's the film, and you go around and you be like, we got this. Yeah, it's an act. You know, it's like a circus or something. All right, we're gonna do the fucking juggle some flames or like have the tigers or this is this act, and you gotta come up with a pitch for it, you know what I mean, and you sell it, like a car, you'd be like, all right, this is and this is why people are gonna like it and why people are gonna come in.
There's a lot of that in Portland, a lot of white folk, but that's good. There's so many cool movements here, man. I don't know if you know who like Dior Worthy is, or Lambo Lawson, or like the Produce Boys, like Dante the Apple, Boca.
Produce Boys, no, I guess I don't know.
Yeah, it's like
Are you talking about
Dante the Apple, Boca?
Oh, I'm thinking about Spinach. He's in this group called like the Breakfast Boys or something.
Oh shit, nah.
I'm thinking of something.
See, that's the thing too, man. It's like there's so many fucking there are miniature movements that could be so.
But they won't tie it together. Though.
Yeah,
that's the problem.
Bro.
Is I'm like, why don't you guys fucking work with each other? That's why I did this album. It's like let's bring a bunch of different circles together. But like people are still a little bit stingy or something.
Like you and Eric Boderick should be in the same room together, like coming up with some crazy shit. Like he came. Did you hear his project too? Ill project. Like around the same time y'all were both. I'm pretty sure y'all released within the same couple of months. His album Bloom was very similar to your project, and it was like a cohesive compilation of different artists, but you were the producer. And man, it's another really solid project that came out of Portland, man. And it's just another thing where it's like, damn, like when I see him and then when I see you, I actually missed his project because I was recording yours and mine, and so like I don't know how I missed the shit, but I couldn't submit I'm sick about that shit, Eric. I'm fucking sick.
He's sorry, man. He doesn't feel good about it, bro.
Cause he got like, Milkman. Man, I'm telling you, bro. Portland is like, it's got so many sprinkles of dope ass artists, but it's like, it's just waiting for that shit to pop off. Like Portland could be like Oakland, right?
For sure.
It could easily be like Oakland.
I've been here my whole life, and I've been trying my whole life, and I can't do it.
I feel like what you gotta do, bro, is what you just did. Like, rinse, wash, and repeat this whole thing. Like, I know, like, Ten Face got his own shit, but, like, as a producer, bro, you're on some, like, Diddy, fucking Jermaine Dupri, Quincy Jones type shit, where you're like, motherfucker, I'm putting this shit together, I'm pulling you.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's, like, the bread and butter of being able to showcase a lot of Portland's talent under one roof in a really digestible way.
Yeah.
Right? Like, especially when you think about how we consume music now, and there's fucking so much music out, bro.
Dude, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous how much music's out. Like, you just can't even compete. You have to have a movement. You have to have a story. Bro. You have to be telling an amazing story. Yo, I'm gonna go get one more of these fucking whiskeys real quick.
Okay, word. I'm gonna chill.
Pause, bitches.
Later.
You have to put the switch back on. But he's gonna want me to pay for it.
Yeah, you know. Shit, I guess I'm here by myself now, but yeah, man, it's lit. Life is good. If I could say anything to you beautiful motherfuckers, is do what you want, man. Practice discernment and really dive into your intellect, you know? Solid, man. How you? Chilling. I have one of these, I think it's a local. I've got, what's it called here? A La Madrina. Yeah. What you got? Nice. It's a good day. Cheers.
Every day is a good day.
Yep.
Some days are better than others.
Yep.
They were noisy, they were rubber blocks.
Yeah, life, man. Life.
Yeah, the rubber blocks.
Yeah.
They had little rubber blocks.
Well, man, sorry, go.
No, you go ahead, bro.
I was gonna say I'm glad we got to finally have a stogie. You know, it's like I saw you smoking and shit. Like I'm just like, oh, this guy.
Yes,
I
bro.
really didn't want to go.
It's like weird. Cigars are this weird thing because it's like.
But at the same time,
I grew up with cigars. My dad's Puerto Rican, you know, so it's like kind of this Cuban connection, and coming out of New York and stuff. It's like, and also coming up through like the 80s and 90s, like the Schwarzenegger era, where it was like badass, like cool thing, like a man thing to smoke cigars. So I grew up. My dad smoked cigars. I smoked cigars. You know, as soon as I could buy tobacco, you know. And, but it's like this weird thing where people are like, oh, it's like you rich white man or whatever, you know.
Yeah,
like,
there is like an interesting connotation associated with cigars. Cause my pops never smoked them. Like he smoked cigarettes, and I fucking hate cigarettes, bro. I was also like an asthmatic kid, but there's something about it just visually where it looks cool.
I mean, yeah, in my mind, that's
and I guess my introduction to them, I actually started smoking loose leaf pipe tobacco.
Yeah.
And then I slowly kind of graduated into cigars, which is like where I'm at now. I'm not, I mean, is there a thing, such a thing as being like a cigar connoisseur?
Yeah, aficionado.
Yeah, aficionado.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like for me, I'm like, I can't taste, you can kind of taste the difference. Some of them seem like they have a bit more mouthiness, or a bit deeper in flavor, or more harsh of a hit. But in terms of like strands or strains of tobacco, like I definitely don't have the palate to be able to decipher.
I can a little bit, but it's one of those things where like you got to kind of choose where you're going to put your energy in life, and like that's one thing that I
That's
just
a bar, bro.
But it's like beer, you know. It's like for me, like you put a porter in front of me, I'm gonna enjoy it. You put an IPA in front of me, I'm gonna enjoy it. You put a, you know, I like lighter wrappers, you know, because they don't get me all like bungee, you know. But I think it's probably just a little less like nicotine and tar and stuff, you know, with the lighter wrapper maybe. But you know, I've had light wrappers that are like a cheap cigar, and it upset my stomach real fast, you know, because it was like green kind of. It wasn't really like, you know, so it really depends. You gotta find something you like. But I mean, my point is, it's like you can't really offend me with a cigar, man. I'll smoke a Swisher, bro. I'll smoke a backwoods.
Yeah, bro. That's what we used to do, bro. We used to smoke zigzags, fucking Swishers.
You know what I'm saying?
The fucking like, Russian cream backwoods.
People be like, "Are you fucking?" And people would tease me too. Be like, "Are you smoking a backwoods?"
Yeah,
I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fucking smoking a backwoods."
This shit's nice, bro.
Like,
you don't want to smoke a fucking Marlboro or a Newport,
or do I want to bust out one of these at the bar and risk everybody being like, "This fucking." It's funny, is you be at a cigarette patio and there's literally like a pack of smokes collectively being,
and then you light one cigar and everyone's
like, oh,
shut the fuck up.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, dude, and you know it's a cult because it's like, you guys are the ones who get yelled at for being stinky all the time. So it's like, we come out with some different kind of, it's still tobacco, but it's like slightly different, you know.
You know what's funny too? Like anytime I've ever been strolling and smoking a cigar, I've never been met with a cough in disgust.
Yeah.
People are always like, oh, that smells great.
Yeah.
And it's often women too. Like older women will be like, oh, that smells good.
Because they're like,
I'll be like, yeah.
They're like,
yeah. It's classy, man. Tobacco is cool. I think it definitely helps me. Once I figured out like what I liked, like my introduction into nicotine was straight up vapes. Like vapes were being passed around in high school, and I kind of got into that, and then was very turned off by it after a while. I feel like I got a lot of like respiratory. I'm already asthmatic, but that shit fucked me up.
No, those vapes are not good for you.
Nah.
We haven't figured it out totally yet, but they're not good for you.
No, they definitely. Whatever just flew on my leg was not cool. Oh, it's a bee, dude. Oh, buddy.
Murder hornets.
Oh yeah, it's an actual bee.
Damn, that sucks.
No, I caught one of those fucking black ones earlier today too. I knew exactly what you were talking about.
What the fuck is that, bro?
What was funny is it flew into the car with me.
Oh shit.
Those are those fucking government ones, bro. I'm just
it's
playing,
some different type of fucking.
No, but I was there. I'm driving, and this thing just bam in the window, and I'm on the freeway, right? And so I look down, and there's this black, chromed out like
bro, like metallic looking motherfucker.
And I was like, and it would look like a hornet, you know?
Yeah.
And so I'm like, oh motherfucker,
that's
and I'm
what
on
that
the
shit
freeway.
was. It was just on me, and I was like, what the fuck?
For some reason, I just knew. I was like, what is it, one of them black ones?
Yeah.
I'm driving and I'm like on the freeway, so I'm like, and so I got keyless, you know, start my car, so I pull my keys out, and it's down in the seat, because I feel like it caught like a gust in the window, because I heard it like clack off this like windowsill, and just flew in and like hit me, you know, but it was all, you know, confused and concussed, you know. So I was just like, oh shit, I was like, play it cool, don't crash the car. Pull my keys out and just kind of like smashed it in the seat, but I was like, but you know what I mean, I was thinking to myself like,
you start panicking, dude.
It's good that I'm a calm person, because I'm like, I just imagine some like middle-aged woman like
fucking 4-car pileup because it's fucking murder hornets, dude.
Fucking T1000 hornet.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've never seen those before. I'm sure it's like a normal bug and like, you know, but I was just like, what the fuck is this T1000 shit?
I'm right on par with that, bro. There's some weird ass shit going on, so I would not second guess it if it was some fucking genetically engineered weird shit.
Bro, even if it ain't happened yet, it's gonna happen one day.
I feel like it has. I mean, all the goddamn technology we got, there has to be some sort of like stealthy way to I mean, we already have surveillance in our phones.
We're just carrying around a fucking
like this
bug at all times.
This right here. It's a good life either way. I definitely went through my conspiracy theory phase, and I tell you what, man, I was like I get it from my parents, my family. They're all like psychonauts, bro. Just like fucking mad philosophical, psychological folk that like, and I was taught at an early age to like really pick apart the Rubik's Cube, you know, and like figure out what peace means as a collective. So my mind, when I think of AB or like a surveilling B like that, like that's not out of the bounds of or the realm of possibility for me. I feel like that could be a very real thing.
Well, what it is for me is when people are like, nope, that's not real. It's like, no, that's denial. Because for you to be like sure it's not real when actually I just suggested it to you and it's the first time you've ever thought of it, you know? Nope, that's not real. It's like, okay, no, that's a response that you're having to cognitive dissonance. Like, now maybe it's not real. I don't know if it's not real or real. You don't know if it's not real or real. But for you to be like, no, it's not real. It's like,
Quite honestly, man, at this point, there are a couple of things that I really lose patience with. And one of those is when people are like immediately dismissive. Like I don't really have, because it's like, damn, like you couldn't even think about the possibility of that.
Because they don't want to think about it.
Right.
They really can't or don't want to think about it. And they will do anything to avoid it, including being illogical in the moment, you know?
I think it's because like when you really start to break down like our existence and like start to ask and break down just real ethical and philosophical questions, it starts to get I mean, it helps. I think that's what anxiety is too. It's like when you're met with something that you haven't confronted before, your brain is like, what is this? I'm going to revert back to a pattern to where I was comfortable, because this contradictory information is like, you have to think about it.
Yeah.
So when you have to actively think about something that isn't autonomic, it breeds this thing where it's like, you kind of panic because you have to find the answer. Because, you know, as humans,
I think it says something about a person, what they do in that moment of panic. You know, for me, when I'm presented with that moment, I like to think that I would be like to slow down and be like, okay, wait, what are you saying? Like, really?
Yeah.
Whereas people, you know, like I said, when they're just like, la 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 la,
yeah.
You know, you're like, bro, that you don't think that's like you're gonna take that as truth. You're clearly having a reaction. You know?
Yeah, like your reaction is, and that's the thing about adaptability too, because like when you're communicating with other people, oftentimes when you think at a level where you think where it's kind of higher intellectually, you have to meet. And it's kind of shitty that I'm saying it this way, but you have to meet other people where they're at in order to gain understanding. Because sometimes you're gonna meet somebody that's like, no, that ain't real.
But it's like a scientist, you know. I'm gonna say a bunch of like crazy words to you that you don't understand. It's like, why, you know, you got to talk to a person.
Yes,
you don't just want to be like, well, I know all this stuff. You know, like,
yes,
well, it's just bouncing off my forehead. No, so it's like, but when you can really, you know, you want to communicate.
Like what we were talking about earlier with the fucking satanic shit all over the place. It's like you have to know to understand what that means in order to understand the context with which it influences things, right? And so someone like you who is like, oh, I get it, like I kind of understand why there's this chaotic energy here, is because there are, whether it's real or not, it's here. There's spells going on. There are people interacting with it.
Yeah.
It's fucking, it's wild, bro.
One, to take it a step too far here, but like there are spells and shit.
Yes,
it's like Portland is like got this Wiccan history and like the satanic history and like all this shit. Like it is actually like we don't know, but like even like you go to McMenamins or something, like
they've got all types of shit.
Go look
relics
around,
and shit, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
Bro.
Like and all those Shanghai buildings downtown and shit, like, and on the east side too. You know, it's like it's like occult imagery everywhere. I'm like, why are we so obsessed with this occult? And people just think it's cool. They'll put like the all-seeing eye or something. They'll just put it on some shit as like art. Like, oh no, it's just the all-seeing. It's like cool. You know? It's like, why? What's calling you to put that on there? Why did you think that was cool? It's like, are you being maybe, I don't want to use the word possessed, but it's like, are you being influenced by some other energies you're not even aware of? Because why? It's like, it's a cultural thing across the whole like Portland culture. It's like the same. It's like fashion or something, you know?
Yeah.
I'm like, why do you guys all have the same?
Anti-religion turned into the religion itself,
Right?
but people will never fucking think of it that way. Like, well, because then man, people are like, like humans are so smart and lovely and wonderful, but they're also dumb as shit. Because we fucking like we box ourselves into this thing and we think we're fucking individual as fuck, but it's also like you're just recreating this thing, and you use your own mind frame as a coping mechanism to make it seem okay. Like whatever you're doing is okay. Whatever you believe in, whatever you're experiencing, whatever you're interacting with, whoever you're interacting with. And I think ultimately it's just like people want to do good, right? And people think that shit is okay, but it's fucked up.
Well, and I think coming out of a world where Christianity was doing a lot of evil, you know, these kids grew up and they were like, yo, anything anti-Christian, I'm in, you know, and like, hail Satan, you know. But it's like, yo, be careful, because those are energies too, and they might do their way with you, you know, have their way with you, you know, in a sense. It's like, and you know, not even to come at it from like a Christian perspective or like a biblical perspective or something, but I'm just saying, I'm just like I was saying earlier, I'm like, are you sure? Like, you won't be careful with all that stuff, you know? Like, you think like, oh, you know what, actually, we're done with marriage. Fuck anybody you want. Like, let's just roll. It's like, see how that goes. It's like, since the new ideology has taken over, it's been like say since 2015 or something. You know what I mean? It's been like less than a decade. Look at the direction things have gone. Yeah. I'm like, I know Christianity was all fucked up and the preachers touching shit, you know, like I get it. Like, but is this like, we put it all on a do the conversational arithmetic and really balance out like what I'm like, I think it's arguable whether this is better.
I think you are 100% right, bro. And I think it's a much deeper issue because people don't necessarily know how to practice discernment. It's just what we were talking about before. It's just like
just trying to practice discernment.
Yeah, man. Fuck, dude. I did say that on the project. That's it, bro. That's where I'm at, man. This is all you get. This is what you get right here. I'm a reflection of whatever this is, and even through my own ego, I still try to figure out ways to relay messages. Cause I'm searching, man. I'm seeking. I've spent so much of my time.
Bro, your shit was the deep.
It was very, 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 very in there. But I'm like, you provided the space for that. Cause I'm like, bro, I didn't know you from from this cup, bro. Yeah. And then it was like, but it was the energy. Like I'm like, I feel like from what I heard. Cause bro, I went deep into the rabbit hole of Ten Face. Like, I still gotta hop on that joint from that one project. That beat is hard as fuck.
Oh yeah, that one you hit me up about. Bro, it was like a Hispanic.
Yeah, that shit was so hard.
Yeah.
It
was made from salsa chops or something.
Yes. Yes.
I remember you hit me up. You're like, bro, I got it.
Dude, that shit is crazy. So I'm gonna hop on that. I'm definitely gonna hop on that. But yeah, it just felt like it was one of those things where it was like, do it. Because I feel like you would have received it well. You did. I mean, you put it on the fucking project. So, you know, I feel like, bro, what would be ill is if we did like an EP, bro. Like 4 bangers.
Yeah.
4 Luis bangers. You produce the tracks. And we chop it down to the 4 hardest beats possible. And then we construct some shit that's on some like fucking ODB, Ghostface, fucking just some ill shit, man. Like they're, you know, I know some spitters. My pen game is fucking ill, and I feel like creatively, I would want some shit that you have like never even thought of doing before.
Okay.
where you're like, this idea, I'm gonna try it, boom, let's do it. Like I'm talking like the projects that I really fuck with are artistic as fuck like that, where like in the middle of the beat they're like, there's like some wild soundscape, you know, like shit like that.
Cuts away some,
it's
like prog rock, but
but then back into some like hard fucking hip hop shit. Like I would love that.
But I mean, not I didn't mean going into prog rock, but I mean, the way that prog rock, they'll be like, it'd be like some epic shit, and then they'll just be like quiet all of a sudden. And then they'll be like back up into some other shit.
Like almost even the way you constructed it, I feel like your brain automatically goes to that space. So I'm like, bro, if we did something like that, I would lay the lyrics, and then you would just use me as an instrument anywhere. You know what I mean? It probably could just be like mostly. Oh, you hear who did it? Fucking Kenny Beats. You hear his last project? It's ill because it's like 12 songs back to back, really dope transitions, but it's a mostly instrumental album, and then he'll like throw in like a verse from like Denzel Curry or some shit out of nowhere.
I like that.
But like in the track list, you don't see any features. It's just the song.
Because the thing is hip hop was it was the leading pop music for the last 30 years, to be honest. And so it became very like frontman heavy, you know. But it's like for me, it's like I love a verse, like poetry, you know? But I don't want to listen to an Eminem album because it's just straight so much fucking bars the whole time. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and that's great and it's impressive. But it's like that's not really what I want to put on, you know. And so it's cool. I feel like the same way with like rock music. I'm working on this rock project, you know. Instead of being like up there the whole time and you're like just fucking the microphone, like what's that motherfucker Aerosmith? You know? But it's like it's not about the front man. It's about this sonic experience that the listener is going on. But then every once in a while you pop out into this little meadow and you be like, all right, I'm gonna break it right down, you know. And everyone's like, ugh. But it's like refreshing because it hasn't been going fucking bars the whole time, you know.
That's a dope. I mean, you already laid out the concept. Like, I mean, I feel like it would be really dope to flesh that out. Like, I love the concept of being like going on a walk. What do you hear when you go on a walk in a forest? You know what I mean, you're gonna hear all types of noises, all types of sounds. You might hear a human, you know, if you're going on a campground, right? You might hear some kids laughing or some shit. Like, I love the spontaneity and the unpredictability of nature, and I feel like really projecting that in a project would be super dope, bro. Like with soundscapes and everything, like hella textures, and then all of a sudden, you know, a really dope, you know, well thought out couple of arrangements and compositions where I'm, you know, maybe singing and rapping. It would be fucking crazy, bro. I'd love to do some shit like that.
Man, I heard this when I was learning production. I was watching like endless videos on YouTube, and I came across this one cat who said, he's like, man, the productions nowadays are so clean, and like it feels like it's in a vacuum almost. You know what I mean? It doesn't feel like it's in light. Like we're talking about the cars passing by, and so he's like, I walk around my neighborhood and I just pick up like ambient noise and I put it in every one of my outfits. And you can't even hear it in his shit. You can't hear it. It's like so quiet in the mix,
but it adds that life to it.
And so since then, every single recording I've ever made has had pretty much an ambient track.
That's crazy because I got that from my boy Jay, bro. Like he's still recording on a fucking Yeti mic. That's like it's split. The cord is split. You gotta fold the motherfucking headphone cord to make it work. But his shit, it sounds alive because then he'll be recording in the background when we're talking and shit, and we'll add that in the background. There's car noises. We're chilling, sipping drinks, laughing. And those textures are so fucking dope, bro. I actually did that with my first project. It was I was taking a cross country trip during COVID. Like I took like a 4-month trip and went to a whole bunch of national parks and was just like setting my audio recorder up and just recording shit. And I like placed those within the project, and it gave it such a cool like live element. And a lot of people it's not something you highlight, but it's there, and it allows the listener to like tune out of the music, but then you're still enjoying the music itself too.
It makes it more like real and in person, and you know they're like in a place. You know, it makes you feel like you're like, you know.
Yeah, man. It's I'm dead serious, bro. I'd say fucking 10 Face STJ project would go dumb, bro.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
That would go so crazy. Be like 4 songs and then like 3 or 4 like interludes, and then within the songs it would be like some crazy instrumentation, some cuts here, some soundscapes there, a little verse here.
Because it's like rap at this point in history, like I said, it's beyond pop music. It's like it can be interjected at any point in music as an instrument, you know? Mm-hmm. You're like you know, you can be singing. Like you're saying, you're like, I'm singing this, like not even a hook, but like I'm singing the melody of this piece, you know? And then after a while, or you know what I mean, there's some, you know, musical stuff going on, but then you come down into this place and you're like, like I said, like, all right, and we gonna break it, you know, and all of a sudden it's like, and people can really enjoy that moment of rap without it being like I said, Eminem album, where it's just like hitting your brain fucking machine gun style, you know?
Yeah, it's like you want it to be tasteful, you know what I mean? You don't want to eat a whole fucking family-sized bag of Skittles because your stomach's gonna hurt. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You just want a little handful here and there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Eat the burger, eat the fries, but don't gorge. You know what I mean? And I think that's just a testament to where we are in society too. Is it's like there aren't enough people. Actually, there are enough. I just think that they're not highlighted. The people that really do place more emphasis on the overall feeling, the sound, the sights, the smells, tastes of everything. Because I feel like we're just consuming so much junk food, and I feel like I definitely got into that too with like the mind frame of, ooh, I gotta produce this one's particular sound. Like the next project that
will like it.
Right. And the next go around, I want to do something that. And that's where the best art comes from, is when it's like, oh, I fuck with this heavy, and I don't give a fuck if anybody else does. Like, that's the shit where I'm like, I can listen to this on repeat, bro.
Because it's good.
Yeah. Soulful.
I mean, we're still listening to those old jazz recordings, you know? Like, you're going to put on some McCoy Tyner and John Coltrane because those guys were priests, high priests.
Yes, bro.
And you're like, literally, there's tons of jazz that came out since, but it ain't that.
Well, because they were copying that formula, that thing that they were so naturally able to convey and be like a channel and conduit of, which is just that raw fucking sound. It was so, like, it's such an addicting, like, you know, I can listen to Sounds in the Key of Love on repeat, bro. Like, that fucking album is incredible. Most of Stevie's discography is like that. Like, this motherfucker's been making... Bro, he is an animal, dude. It's like... But it's that sound. Well, even I'm inspired by dudes like Stevie, you know, Music Soul Child, like fucking Kem, you know who Kem is? Kem is like an ill, like, jazz vocalist, but he's got so many cool compositions around him. Like, he just has like this classic sound. Who else? I wasn't really big on Prince. My family was really into Prince. My mom was a big Prince fan, but I fucking loved Michael Jackson, bro. Michael Jackson was that dude. But it's Quincy, though. You know, Quincy.
That's why.
Quincy was cold, bro. But yeah, I think the growth that I'm looking for in my music is just the time, you know, and like, I don't want to be like an incubator of my own sound, because I still don't even know what that is. Like, with that last project, I was just like in the trenches, and I was like, this is dope, let's push that out.
Well, it came out so good, man. Fucking Lester Pearl and everyone's up there, bro. I mean, it's nice when you get to a spot in Portland where it's like, bro, it's all black people. It was all black people.
Ill.
Bro.
So like, ill, bro.
Good on you, you know.
So ill.
What's up? I went in there, I was like, where am I?
Where the fuck am I? Yeah. It felt like some fucking LA shit,
That's
like
good.
Miami shit. That feels good. The crossover feels good, and to be received in such a way, especially being an outsider, it was like, damn, like, And that was the bug that I got bit with. Like I don't want to replicate that just for the validation of that feeling. And
Well, you can't,
I know,
right?
I know. So that's why I'm like, I gotta get around cats like you, man. Like, cause that's like my bread and butter is like real instrumentation, and like I personally feel like, you know, my ear is attuned to some elite level shit, but when I get around somebody like you or a Jimmy or Jaren, fucking Drew the Universe, like you guys think about just different experiences, right? Like relay into your art. And so that's it. I want to be able to like definitely replicate the process, but come with a more refined and more natural and relatable sound. And I think that's just from the experience, man. So I'm very excited, bro.
And when I think what it is too is like, you know, so like jazz is America's art form, and it's like we don't want to think about it like that way because we're like fuck America, fuck you know, but like jazz came from America, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like it's the American art form, and it was black people and white people and Hispanics. You know, really, it's like, and New York. You know what I mean?
Right.
But it's like out of jazz, well, out of the blues was born jazz, and then out of jazz, which was America's art form, and the blues too, you know, came hip hop and rock and roll.
Yeah,
both came out of that tradition, you know. And so we're going back and forth between this, like, it seems like it's like hip hop is like black people music and rock and roll is white people music, you know. And so it's like it's kind of this cultural thing going back and forth, but like.
Well, what's crazy about rock and roll is like that was also traditionally black
music.
art,
Yeah,
right? Black music, and so it's such a weird split, like you're saying, like with that, and how it's kind of pinned against each other. I think that's also another negative thing about the way
It's a mistake. It's a mistake. Or I mean, it wouldn't have been a mistake up until this moment, but at this moment, it's like no, we're all coming back home. You know, it's like, you know. You can put an electric guitar on that shit, it's fine.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no. And it's gonna it's gonna hit. Yeah, I think that's why I like, I really fuck with, you know, like a Mike Dean, who, you know, mixed and mastered a lot of Kanye's and Travis Scott stuff. Is like they'll use elements of like EDM and rock with hip hop. So you'll hear like some crazy 808s, but like juxtaposed with the fucking distorted, crazy fucking guitar, like electric guitar.
There's something about that. It's like the electric guitar and that bluesy thing. It's like badass. You know, it's like some Rum Runners. And some, you know, there's something to that. That's like, it's gangster.
It's gangster as fuck, bro.
You know, in a different way. You know?
Yeah. I gotta pee, bro.
Alright.
I gotta go all the way up in there, huh?
No, I think right through here. See that like dark colored door right past the. Yep.
What, 15.5 last week?
These wings all blue like them rubber bands.
It's good, bro. It was so good. It was so good. I was like, oh man.
That was a surprise. That dude can spit.
Yeah. Thank you.
He's tight. How's he doing?
Good. I went and saw him today.
The trash room downstairs.
He's doing good. He's working on his own album.
Tight.
He's like rapper first, producer second. You know? But he's like trying to, you know,
Level up.
you know. And so I was over there helping him work on his shit. And I think he's super talented, man. See if he can get out of his own way.
All my shit is in storage for those parts.
That's the trick.
We all got that.
Before I went down.
But yeah, he's out of control. He's out of control. His bars are out of control.
Yeah, his bars are crazy.
He's always been out of control. Like, cause I've known Blaine since high school. We went to high school together. He's always been out of control. Well, so in this project, I was like, all right, cause like him and I, we've worked together a lot in the past. We used to go to open mics together. And so, but like the weirdest fucking shit you ever fucking heard, bro. I go up there with a loop pedal and like a guitar and like saxophone and like some random instruments, right? And I make some goofy ass fucking loop. It wasn't even like hip hop. I'd like beatbox, so it was kind of hip hop. But then I put some like sax chords and some shit, you know. And then we both fucking like freestyle over it.
Go crazy.
So like I always got respect for this guy because I'm like, he wants to get down in the trenches and like work the shit out. You know? but at the same time, he gets in his own way a little bit.
Not bad.
That's alright. It comes with it, you know. Just gotta be patient. That would actually be dope too. Like, especially when it comes to the project, man. Quite honestly, I would be challenged by not even having any like percussion in it. If it was just musical and then just awesome bars, crazy.
Some like strings and shit.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Literally whatever, bro. Just mad musical, but then like juxtaposed with some gangsta ass shit, bro. That's ill. Yeah. Cause then I'm thinking live, like pull up on some Blues Brothers shit. You got your glasses on, you pull up with the sax, you like got the keys or whatever, and then I'm up there on some fucking like you be up there first. You be playing, crooning, smoothing, slide up there, go up there with the bars, and it's just all music, bro. Like
everyone's like, what the fuck?
Yes, dude. And I feel like it could be done in such a tasteful way because I mean, just knowing who you're connected with and like the artists that I know too, like it could be such a dope like. I mean, just like with this project. I mean, just a showcase of talent, but like to highlight the musicality of it, right? Like the artist, the vocalist should be like the cherry on top, but everything else is like fucking. That's what you come there to see. That's some ill shit. I'd love to be a guest on a Luis Ocasio project.
And the MC though is such a special part of that because it's like. Everything else is so cerebral music, you know, like you have to interpret it, you know. But then the MC comes out and says, all right, here's what the story is, here's what to think about, or, you know, giving a little bit of structure to it, you know, when people are like, fuck, you know.
You know who does that really well? Black Thought.
Yeah, for sure.
He like him, Common, Crit'll do that too, but like Black Thought will just like rap on some fucking on a bassoon. You know what I mean? Just rap over some bassoon or like a bass or some shit. It just sounds so gangster, bro. But it's like, because I feel like oftentimes, especially with me too, like we add too much to the sound and the foundation that's already there. So it whatever the message is that you're trying to convey gets washed away because you're adding too much shit to it. But I think it's just so gangster to have like some real ill ass fucking melodies and harmonies and instruments and then some slick bars on that shit. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Yep. Yeah, man.
Alright, man, what do you say we wrap this up?
Let's do it.
Thanks for fucking doing this with me, man.
Of course, bro. Thanks for having me.
Good to share a cigar with you, and, you know, good to share an album with you, and, you know, it's been good to get to know you, man.
Yeah, man, likewise. I think it's a beginning to a beautiful relationship, friendship. We're about to make some cool shit. Just getting started.
Yeah, bro.
Yes, sir.
Conversations out.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. That's good. We did 1:45 basically. Maybe 10 minutes of break. You know, it's pretty good for an hour and a half. I just hope the fucking beginning of it wasn't too crazy with these cats over here.
Yeah, the guy was kind of wild. That's alright though. It'll be cool to chop that up and throw it on the socials, man. I love that. I haven't posted shit, so next time I post something.
You got in trouble.
Bro, that was fucking weird. That was so weird.
Then like you posted it too much.
That was so fucking weird, bro. And that's like, that really was a sign for me to be like, alright, enjoy your summer, bro. I'm like, I was in there posting every day, and then they put me on a fucking restriction.
So weird.
They were just like, yeah, your account. Well, I kept like trying to comment on people's shit and post it, and they kept giving me this message of like, you're restricted. Your account will be blocked until July 24th or some shit. And it was like, if you think this has been made an error, report it. So I kept reporting it, and then I went in to like show and see if somebody could like hack my account or something. And it was just straight up like, I went in and I was like Googling what does this fucking message mean, and it was like, well, there are a number of reasons why your account is restricted status, and one of them was overactivity. And I'm like, so and like, you know, I follow a bunch of these like Instagram gurus and shit, and like social media these days, like, you post this time, you post multiple. I was doing that, and then they fucking penalized me for it. So I was like, it definitely like deflated me for a bit there. I was on a roll, man. I was on a fucking roll. I was really just trying to like create buzz leading up to that show, and then after that it was gonna be a little break anyway. That was wild.
It's so funny, bro.
That was wild. The machine. La Machina.
La Machina.